Hello everyone, my name is Jyoti. I am working in Sri Chaitanya Techno School, Madhurwada 1 branch. Today I am going to explain one of the topics from 9th standard CBSE, quadrilaterals. So, we will discuss now closure figure. What is closure figure? Closure figure means if the starting point and ending point are same. If the starting point and ending point are same. Such type of figures are called closure figures. So this is a closure figure. Suppose this is also a closure figure because here I started here and again I came here only. So here also the starting point and ending point are same. That's why this is also a closure figure. And what is simple closure figure? Simple closure figure. Simple closure figure is also a closure figure, but it should not be intersect anywhere except their endpoints. Simple closure figure is also a closure figure, but it should not be intersect anywhere except their endpoints. Suppose here intersected and here also intersected. So this is not a simple closure figure. It is closure figure, but it is not a simple closure figure. These two are simple closure figures, because it intersected only at the endpoints only. Next, polygon. What is polygon? A polygon means a simple closed plane figure bounded by line segments is called a polygon. This is simple closure figure and bounded by line segments. These are polygons. A simple closed plane figures bounded by line segments is called a polygon. Here all polygons are simple closure figures. But all simple closed need not be polygons. These all are simple closure figures. But it is only simple closure figure. It is not a polygon. Next, quadrilateral. What is quadrilateral? Quadrilateral means a simple closed plane figure bounded by 4 line segments is called a quadrilateral. A simple closed plane figure bounded by 4 line segments is called a quadrilateral. Otherwise, a polygon bounded by 4 line segments is called a quadrilateral. So, what is angle sum property of a quadrilateral? Angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Okay. Angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. Sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is 360. That means angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to how much? 360 degrees. So, how to prove sum of the angles is equal to 360? So, first of all, we have to take triangle ABD. In triangle ABD, sum of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Already we know sum of the angles of a triangle is 180. That means angle A plus angle BDA plus angle DBA is equal to 180 degrees. Take it as equation 1. Now in triangle BDC. So angle C plus angle BDC plus angle DBC is equal to 180 degrees. Take this as equation 2. Now add equation 1 and equation 2. So what we will get? Angle A plus angle BDA plus angle DBA plus angle C plus angle BDC plus angle DBC is equal to 180 plus 180 degrees. So angle A plus angle BDA and BDC, angle BDA plus angle BDC. Angle BDA is this angle and angle BDC is this angle. So sum of this total angle is equal to, we can write angle ADC. So angle BDA plus angle BDC, we can write angle ADC, that means angle D. Angle ADC we can write as angle equal to angle B. That is equal to how much? 180 plus 180 is 360. So sum of the angles of a quadrilateral, angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to how much? 360 degrees. Hence proved. Next, types of quadrilaterals. Different types of quadrilaterals we have. Those are trapezium. First one is trapezium. Next, parallelogram. Next, rectangle, rhombus, and fifth one is square, and last one is kite. So total 6 type of quadrilaterals are there. So here first one is quadrilateral, trapezium, next parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, and it is square. So all squares are rhombuses, and all squares are rectangles. That's why I am giving arrow mark is like this. All squares are rhombuses and all squares are rectangles. All squares are parallelograms. All squares are trapeziums, and all squares are, we know already, quadrilaterals. So from down, see, all rhombuses are parallelograms, and all rhombuses are trapeziums. All rhombuses are quadrilaterals, and all rectangles are parallelograms, and all rectangles are trapeziums, and all parallelograms are trapeziums, and all parallelograms are quadrilaterals. So from down we have to observe, then we can understand. All the squares are all rectangles. Square can be rectangle also, rhombus also, parallelogram also, trapezium also, and it is quadrilateral also. Okay, like that we have to divide the types of the quadrilaterals. Properties of parallelogram. Property 1 is, in a parallelogram, ABCD is a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, the diagonal divides the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. The diagonal divide a parallelogram into two congruent triangles. That is a statement of the first property. First property is the diagonal of a parallelogram divide that parallelogram into two congruent triangles. So first of all, given, what is given? ABCD is a parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram. And what we have to prove? We have to prove triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CDB. Triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CDB. We have to prove this. So triangle ABD, in triangle ABD and in triangle CBD, take those two triangles in triangle ABD and triangle CBD. In these two triangles, already we know what AB is equal to CD. AB is equal to CD. Already we know ABCD is a parallelogram. If it is a parallelogram, then opposite sides are equal. So ABCD is a parallelogram. If ABCD is a parallelogram, then opposite sides are equal. And BC is equal to AD, or AD is equal to BC. Since ABCD is a parallelogram. And BD is the common. BD is the common diagonal for triangle ABC and for triangle BCD. BD is the common side. So, by which congruency criterion? By SSS congruency criterion. Which two triangles are congruent? Triangle. If you start with ADB is congruent to triangle CBD. So these two triangles are congruent triangles. So the diagonal BD bisect a parallelogram into two congruent triangles. Property 2. In a quadrilateral, each pair of opposite sides are equal. In a quadrilateral, if each pair of opposite sides are equal, then it is a parallelogram. Okay, so what is given? Given opposite sides are equal. This ABCD is a quadrilateral. ABCD is a quadrilateral and AB is equal to CD, comma AD is equal to BC is given. So we have to prove ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay. For this also we have to draw a diagonal. Construction. Draw a diagonal BD. Proof. So in triangle ABD, already just now we proved triangle ABD and triangle CBD are congruent triangles. So again I will prove in triangle ABD and triangle CBD. In these two triangles, AB is equal to CD, that is given, and AD is equal to BC, that is also given, and BD is equal to BD, that is common side. By which congruency criterion? By SSS congruency criterion. Triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CDB. If these two triangles are congruent, then CBCD are equal. That means, can I write angle ABD is equal to angle CDB. ABD CDB by CPCD. Because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are equal. So angle ABD is equal to angle CDB. So if these two angles are equal, these two angles are alternate interior angles. If these two angles are alternate interior angles are equal, then the lines are parallel. So AB is parallel to DC. Similarly we can prove if these two angles are equal, okay, by CPCD these two angles also equal. That means angle CBD is equal to angle ADB. So by CPCD we can prove angle CBD is equal to angle ADB. So if these two are alternate interior angles are equal, so these two lines are parallel. So similarly we can prove AD is parallel to BC. Therefore, if AB is parallel to DC and AD is parallel to BC, then ABCD is a parallelogram. In a quadrilateral, if two pairs of opposite sides are parallel, then it is a parallelogram. Therefore, ABCD is a parallelogram. Next, midpoint theorem. Midpoint theorem. The statement of the midpoint theorem is the line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of the third side. The line segment joining the midpoints of two sides. Here P and Q are the midpoints of AB and AC. This PQ we have to prove PQ is parallel to BC and PQ is equal to half of BC. We have to prove PQ is parallel to BC and PQ is equal to half of BC. So what is given? What is given? In triangle ABC, we know P and Q are the midpoints of AB and AQ. P and Q are the midpoints of AB and AC. P and Q are the midpoints of AB and AC. That means AP is equal to PB, comma AQ is equal to QC. And what we have to prove? We have to prove PQ is parallel to BC and PQ is equal to half of BC. We have to prove PQ is parallel to BC and PQ is equal to half of BC. We have to prove. So for this we have to do the small construction. Small construction, that is extend PQ to R such that PQ is equal to QR. Okay, how much PQ is there? That much only we have to extend, and after that join CR. Extend PQ to R such that PQ is equal to QR and join CR. Okay, now proof. Take triangle AQP and triangle CQR. In triangle AQP and triangle CQR. In these two triangles, what we know? We know PQ is equal to QR and AQ is equal to QC. These two we know already. So Q is the midpoint of AC. So AQ is equal to QC. And from construction, PQ is equal to QR. And these two angles are vertically opposite angles. So what can we write? AQ is equal to QC given. Otherwise you can write Q is the midpoint of AC. And PQ is equal to QR. From construction, and angle AQP is equal to angle CQR. Vertically opposite angles. By which congruency criteria these two triangles are congruent? By SAS congruency criterion. Side angle side. Side angle side. By SAS congruency criterion. Which two triangles are congruent? Here order is very important. If you start with A, AQP is congruent to CQR. So triangle AQP is congruent to triangle CQR. If these two triangles are congruent, then corresponding parts of the congruent triangles are equal. That means remaining parts of sides and remaining parts of angles are equal. So AP is equal to CR and this angle CRQ is equal to angle APQ. So AP is equal to CR by CPCT and angle CRQ is equal to angle APQ. Take this is as equation 1 and it is as equation 2. So, but already we know P is the midpoint of AB. That means if P is the midpoint of AB means AP is equal to PB. So, these two are equal. What we know? We know AP is equal to PB. Take this is as equation 3. So, from equation 1 and equation 3, AP is equal to CR and AP is equal to PB. So, can we write from these two, PB is equal to CR. From equation 1 and equation 3, can we write PB is equal to CR. AP is equal to CR, AP is equal to PB. So, from these two, we can write PB is equal to CR. These two are equal, we got it. And what we have to prove? These two are parallel also we have to prove. How can we prove these two are parallel? So, say these two are alternate interior angles. Okay, if alternate interior angles are equal, then the lines are parallel. So, here angle CRQ and angle APQ, these two are alternate interior angles. If alternate interior angles are equal, then AP is parallel to CR. So, from equation 2, this is equation 2. This is alternate interior angles are equal. So, the lines are parallel. That is AP is parallel to CR. AP is parallel to RC. Okay. If these two are parallel, but AP is equal to what? BP. So, this is BP. In the place of AP, we can write BP also. So, BP is also parallel to RC. AP is parallel to RC. Otherwise, we can write BP is parallel to RC. Take it is as equation 4. So, from equation, take this is as equation 4 and it is as equation 5. So from equation 4 and equation 5, what can we write from equation 4 and equation 5? PB is equal to CR and BP is parallel to CR. So BPRC is a parallelogram. Therefore, from equation 4 and equation 5, BPRC is a parallelogram. In a quadrilateral, one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, then that is a parallelogram. So BPRC is a parallelogram. If it is a parallelogram, then PR is equal to BC. If BPRC is a parallelogram, then PR is equal to BC. First of all, if it is a parallelogram, PR is parallel to BC. If PR is parallel to BC, we can write PQ is a part of PR. So PQ is also a parallel to BC. PR is parallel to BC and PR is equal to BC. And PR is equal to BC. Because PRCB is a parallelogram. So PR is parallel to BC and PR is equal to BC. If PR is parallel to BC, then PQ is also parallel to BC. If PR means PR is equal to BC. PR means we can write PQ plus QR is equal to BC. PQ plus QR. But PQ is equal to QR. So in the place of QR, we can write PQ. So PQ plus PQ is equal to BC. So 2PQ is equal to BC. So PQ is equal to half BC. So we proved. So the line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. So PQ is parallel to BC and half of the third side. That means PQ is equal to half of BC. Hence proved. Converse midpoint theorem. The line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle is parallel to the other side and bisects the third side. The midpoint of one side. A line drawn midpoint of one side. This line is drawn. The line drawn midpoint of one side and it is parallel to the second side and we have to show it is bisects the third side. This line bisects the third side, which means we have to prove AE is equal to EC. What is given? In triangle ABC, what is given? D is midpoint of AB, which means AD is equal to DB. And DE is parallel to BC is also given. DE is parallel to BC. So, what we have to prove? We have to prove third side, bisect the third side, which means AE is equal to EC or E is the midpoint of AC, we have to prove. AE is equal to EC, we have to prove. So, for this, we have to do the small construction, that is, draw a line which is parallel to AB. Draw a line which is parallel to AB and extend DE to F. Draw a line which is parallel to BA and extend DE to F. Draw a line CF which is parallel to BA and extend DE to F. Proof. DE is parallel to BC. That is given already in question. D not given. DE is parallel to BC. That is given. If DE is parallel to BC, then DF is also parallel to BC. DF is also parallel to BC. Take this as equation 1. And BD, and already from construction, already we took BA is parallel to FC. If BA is parallel to, AB is parallel to FC, then we can write BD is also parallel to CF. BD is also parallel to CF. Take this is as equation 2. From equation 1 and equation 2, can we write DF is parallel to BC and DB is parallel to FC. If two pairs of opposite sides are parallel, then that is a parallelogram. In a quadrilateral, two pairs of opposite sides are parallel, then it is a quadrilateral. So, BCFD is a parallelogram. BCFD is a parallelogram. If it is a parallelogram, then opposite sides are equal. Means BD is equal to CF. If BCFD is a parallelogram, then opposite sides are equal. BD is equal to CF. Opposite sides. Take this is equation 3. But already we know AD is equal to DB. AD is equal to DB. Already we know. Take this is as equation 4. From equation 3 and equation 4. From equation 3, AD is equal to DB and CF is equal to DB. From these two equations can we write AD is equal to FC. AD is equal to DB and BD is equal to CF. So from equation 1 and 2, from equation 3 and 4, we can write AD is equal to CF. So AD is equal to CF. These three are equal. Now here these two angles are vertically opposite angles in triangle AED and triangle CEF. Angle AED is equal to angle CEF because those two angles are vertically opposite angles and AD is parallel to CF. If AD is parallel to CF and it is a transversal, DF is a transversal, then alternate interior angles are equal. If AD is parallel to FC and DF is a transversal, then alternate interior angles are equal. AD is parallel to FC and DF is a transversal, then angle ADE is equal to angle CFE. These are alternate interior angles. If these two are parallel and it is a transversal, then the alternate interior angles are equal. Now I am taking in triangle ADE and triangle CEF. Triangle ADE and triangle CEF. In these two triangles, what we know? We know these two angles are equal and these two angles are vertically opposite angles and AD is equal to CF we know. Write that. So AD is equal to CF, that is just now we proved from equation 5, and angle ADE is equal to angle CFE. Those are alternate interior angles and angle AED is equal to angle CEF. Those are vertically opposite angles. Okay, by which congruency these two triangles are congruent? If two angles of one triangle are equal to two angles of other triangle, then third angle is also equal these two triangles. So this automatically this third angle is also equal to the third angle. So by which congruency these two triangles are congruent? By ASA. By ASA congruency criterion, triangle ADE is congruent to triangle CFE. If these two triangles are congruent, by CPCT we can write AE is equal to EC because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are equal. So E is the midpoint of AC.